Hi everyone, Sploak here, bringing you another diplomacy commentary. In this commentary, we will explore a very strange Russian strategy that I employed in a game in which I was in a bit of a pickle in the south, but I was in a good position in the north. In usual Russian strategies, if you are trying to win with Russia, you aim to take basically most of the south. Vienna, Budapest, Romania, Serbia, Bulgaria, Constantinople, Ankara, Smyrna, sometimes Greece, Trieste, even Venice. And at the same time, you want to take Berlin, Munich, Sweden, Norway, of course, Denmark, something like that. So Russia straddles the stalemate line, and to solo they have to take most of the southern centers and some of the northern centers usually. But what happens when an enemy alliance or an enemy player forces you to have minimal control over the south and you are basically stalemated against them, and the only path for expansion for you is in the north? Well, this was one of those games, and I show you what I did. This was a gunboat game, so for the first time on this channel, I bring you this interesting variant in which there are no communications between players, so you only can communicate through moves. Of course, in spring 1901, I am immediately at an advantage because of the Austrian opening. The Austrian opening is incredibly unusual and strange compared to whatever else has happened on this board, because they open anti-Italian with Vienna to Tyrolia, Trieste to Adriatic, and Budapest to Serbia. So I get a free shot at Galicia and I enter there. The Russian opening is probably the most common one, and it aims at bouncing in Black Sea and Galicia, but since Austria didn't cover Galicia, I got in there unopposed. So basically, after this, we have this kind of position in which, of course, I'm going to move Bothnia to Sweden. That can only be bounced by Denmark if Germany wants to bounce me there. And it would make sense in this board configuration if Germany bounces me there, because we have an England that has opened anti-French. And usually when I'm Germany, I my default is letting Russia into Sweden, because this Russian fleet can only be used against Germany if they don't take Sweden. But after they're in Sweden, it basically becomes an anti-English unit. But since in this particular case, England is open to the English channel, Germany basically has the certainty that this England is an ally for them against France. So maybe they want to make England happy by bouncing me in Sweden and moving in an EG alliance against France, which is not good for me, of course. At the same time, I'm going to take Romania for sure. I think I'm going to move Sevastopol to Black Sea to bounce again, or if Turkey doesn't move to Black Sea, I get in there, which is a good position to be in. Ukraine can move to Romania. Now, Galicia could move to Vienna or Budapest, but at this point, I think that Austria will see that they messed up with this opening and probably cover Tyrolia to Vienna and Trieste with Adriatic. But I think that they will also cover Budapest with Serbia, assuming that I'm moving to Budapest. So basically they're gonna try to bounce every possible Austrian move. This is my read on Austria. And if they do that, I don't want to move to Budapest, because if I don't, they actually move Serbia to Budapest and they don't even get a build this year. So my decision, quite an unusual one, because in this kind of positions, Russians usually go to Vienna or Budapest. I decide, you know what, I'm not going to move neither to Vienna nor to Budapest. I'm going to hope that Austria covers Budapest with Serbia, so they don't get even one single build. Unfortunately, my read on Austria is incorrect. They didn't cover Vienna or Budapest. They only covered Trieste with their fleet. They stayed in Serbia, which is an intelligent move, because that way they, even if I took Budapest, they would have had Serbia in exchange. But they even moved Tyrolia to Munich, which was bounced by Germany. So this essay is making little sense, to be honest. Fortunately, Germany doesn't bounce me in Sweden, which is great. And England not only convoys to Norway with an army, which is not great for me, but they also take Brest with English Channel. So it seems we have some sort of English-German alliance, and England is posed to attack both France and I. But at the same time, Germany has let me into Sweden, and I'm grateful for it. In the south, I was bounced again in Black Sea. I took Romania, so I made the standard Russian opening in the south. I could have had more. I could have taken Budapest or Vienna. I didn't. So now I have to deal with the consequences of my actions. So in the build phase, I built an army in Warsaw and a fleet in St. Petersburg, North Coast, signifying that I'm not happy with England that they convoyed an army in Norway, and that I'm happy with Germany that I was allowed into Sweden. So that fleet is clearly anti-English, trying to get some help from Germany against England. I know that Germany at this point is incentivized to work with England against France, but maybe Germany will change his mind and ally with me and France against England. In the south, the position is pretty neutral, with actually Turkey that gained Greece in 1901, which is amazing for Turkey, and they built a fleet in Constantinople, not in Smyrna. This means that now they have two fleets bordering the Black Sea, which is not good for me. Now, Constantinople could move to Aegean Sea, naturally. But since Italy is in Tunis with a fleet, they didn't convoy to Tunis, it's pretty clear that Italy is not going for a Lepanto attack against Turkey. So Turkey has much more of an incentive to ally with Italy and to attack me with those two fleets that can force the Black Sea. And that's exactly what happens. Turkey goes to Armenia, to Black Sea with those fleets. They attack Romania, and Romania is also attacked by Serbia, while Turkey supports Serbia. So basically Turkey is signifying with this move friendship to Austria, since we can communicate. These supports are the only way that we can actually talk to each other in a way. And basically I retain Romania because I cut Budapest, but I don't get Budapest because Romania is cut. I moved to Ukraine because I know that stuff is gonna go down. These Warsaw units was clearly not anti-German, and I take Norway with Sweden. The point is that I know that it's pretty unlikely that Germany will tap North Sea with Denmark. So it's pretty unlikely that I actually take Norway, because Norway are expected to be supported by North Sea. So I'm taking it this way, basically saying to Germany, you know, if I get Norway, you can take Sweden from me. Usually you just move St. Petersburg North Coast to Norway, supported by Sweden. But I wanted to signify even more friendship to Germany. I wanted to say to Germany, hey Germany, you can take Sweden from me, because Germany didn't even build a fleet. So that is extremely friendly to England, but it's also friendly to me because they don't have a shot of taking Sweden alone now. And they actually get in Norway because England didn't support Norway. Norway will, of course, retreat to Finland, but that's fine because I have St. Petersburg still covered. Norway, I will cover it, and I will leave Sweden empty, and Germany is free to take it if they want. Of course, if they don't take Sweden from me, I'm even more happy, but my plan was to give Sweden to Germany in exchange for help against England. We see that Germany moves to Bohemia, which is really interesting. I think Germany is planning to do an attack on Vienna, which is not the way I usually move as Germany. But hey, in this particular case, I'm happy about it because I'm Russia and I have an Austrian-Turkish alliance against. At the same time, France tapped Piedmont, which allowed Austria to get into Venice, which is really interesting. We have basically a Turkish-Austrian alliance fighting Italy and Russia together, and France is trying to do what they can with an enemy fleet in Brest and an enemy army in Piedmont. So after the retreat in Finland and in Tuscany, we see that I support Norway and I retain Norway. I try to support Denmark into North Sea just in case, but but Denmark doesn't move to North Sea, they move to Sweden, which is fine. It was part of my plan. I had considered that if Germany wanted to take Sweden, they could. Also, if Finland had moved to Sweden now, guessing that I wouldn't cover it, they could have bounced Germany. So I guessed, and my guess didn't really pay off, but it's fine because I'm fine with Germany having Sweden. At the same time, at this point, I'm using Ukraine to support Sevastopol, which is attacked by 2 units, and I'm using Galicia to support Romania, which could be taken because there are many units bordering it, but it doesn't get taken because Turkey supports Austria in Romania, but Austria just supports Serbia because they're afraid of a Turkish stab. And actually, I'm supporting with Romania, Serbia to Bulgaria, just to say, hey, Austria, work with me, I'm not going to attack you, just attack Turkey, but Austria doesn't do that. At the same time, Germany advances into Tyronia, so clearly they're going anti-Austrian, which is an interesting choice. But France moves all their units east towards Germany. At the same time, Austria loses Venice to the Italian counter-offensive. And England just goes against France in the Atlantic Ocean and stabs Germany for Holland, which is really, I don't know if that's a good move. Germany didn't do anything wrong against England so far, and England now is trying to fight everyone. It's trying to fight Germany, Russia, and France. I don't think it's gonna pay off for England. You don't want to attack every single neighbor that you have. So of course now I'm gaining Norway but losing Sweden, so I don't get any builds. Actually, the only one to get a build is Germany, because of their being gained in Sweden and Belgium, even though they lost Holland. Which could be a way for England to say, hey Germany, you're gaining 2 builds, so I'm gonna gain 1 from you, since we are sort of allied. I don't think Germany will appreciate that, but we'll see. In the following turn, I stick with my German alliance in the north by moving Norway to North Sea and St. Petersburg North Coast to Norway. That means that when Germany predictably retakes Holland, Holland doesn't get to retreat into North Sea unless they supported Holland to North Sea within the Channel, which they didn't. So now Holland has to choose if they want to retreat to an England Bight, which is extremely anti-German, which is great for me. I want England and Germany to fight if I am Russia, or if they want to destroy that unit in Holland, to say, hey Germany, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to piss you off, let me destroy that anti-German unit. At the same time, it's clear that I'm not making any progress in the south. I try at this point, since I predict that I'm going to lose Romania, to attack Budapest with Romania, supported by Galicia, but that doesn't work because Serbia supports Budapest. So I not only lose Romania, which I could have supported with Galicia. So if I had repeated last turn's moves, I would have just kept Romania, but I was expecting that Austria and Turkey would help each other again against Romania and actually take it this time. And I am supporting Sevastopol, but since now Turkey takes Romania from me, I'm going to have 3 units bordering Sevastopol and only 1 unit bordering Sevastopol that can support it, so I'm gonna lose Sevastopol eventually. So basically my southern front is collapsing. At the same time, Austria is in Tartan mode, but every unit is supporting another Austrian unit, but they lose Vienna to Germany. France, seeing that England has stabbed Germany, goes west to face England and leaving Germany alone, since they predict that Germany and England are going to be at odds. And England is supporting themselves in the west while trying to take St. Petersburg from me, but they don't, because I don't get in North Sea. England chooses to retreat in England Bight, which means that England and Germany are going to fight for a bit, and that's fine with me. And I have to destroy the Romanian unit. And we can see that Italy has convoyed to Albania, trying to take Trieste presumably, which means that Austria is in a really bad situation. In my opinion, Turkey will emerge as the dominant southern power because they have a great position against me. Austria is collapsing. Italy doesn't have that good of a position. And in the north, it seems to be seen. I don't think France is in that good of a position. Germany is looking like dominant northern power, but it's not that clear. So in the following turn, I just support myself in Norway to prevent a possible English-German attack on Norway, and I support Sweden with Norway, basically communicating to Germany, hey, I'm going to be your friend because I don't know if Germany has understood that I was giving Sweden to Germany willingly. Maybe they think that they stabbed me and that I'm actually still anti-German, but I never was. England tries to do an Austrian supporting Sweden to Denmark, predicting that Kiel and Sweden will self-bounce in Denmark so that they can take Sweden with Finland. It doesn't work, but I appreciate the idea. Actually, Germany just covers Denmark with Kiel, and they bounce in Kiel with Munich and Holland, so they retain Holland, but at the same time England sneaks into Belgium and they are retreating from French lands, so France retakes Brest because now England seems to be completely anti-German, so they are going to give Brest back, which means that France is on their feet again, which is great for me, and the West and the East as well are completely chaotic. It's a real mess. Germany goes to Tyrolia, probably trying to take Trieste next. Vienna is German. Romania is at the moment Turkish, and Italy takes Trieste. Now, at this point here, I have to make a choice. Of course, I'm not going to manage to retake Romania or retain Sevastopol at the same time. I have to choose which one I want to do. I could tap Romania and support Sevastopol with Ukraine, but I'm worried that Turkey would attack Sevastopol with Romania, supported by Black Sea and Armenia, which would take Sevastopol and at the same time move Bulgaria east coast to Romania. To avoid that, I choose to do the other way around, the inverted attack, attacking Romania with Sevastopol with two supports. This means that if Turkey had done the move that I suppose they were doing, I would have just retained Sevastopol but lost Romania. But since they attacked Sevastopol with Armenia supported by Black Sea, they get Sevastopol, but I retain Romania, which is kind of strange, because we get in a position that I have a Turkish army in Sevastopol that can try to get to Moscow, and I retain my fleet in Romania, which is so weird. So at this point, Germany builds a fleet in Kiel, which is anti-English. France builds a fleet in Marseille, which is ambiguous because they couldn't have built in Brest even if they wanted to. So we don't know if this fleet is just a pro-English fleet in Marseille or it's going to be an anti-English fleet that is going to go around to Spain, Mid-Atlantic Ocean, Irish Sea, etc. We see that Turkey starts to build southern fleets because now their next target is Italy. They probably will continue to harass me in Romania and probably try to get to Moscow, but they don't need any more fleets here. They need fleets in the south. And Italy builds a Roman fleet, which is anti-French. Otherwise, it would have been in Naples. So they are announcing, hey, I'm moving against France, but probably not at the right time because there is a Turkish fleet in Smyrna. Finland is destroyed with it, which is great for me. So at this point, it's clear that my south has collapsed. I will eventually, probably right now, lose Romania because I can't cover Moscow and protect Romania at the same time, and I don't want to lose Moscow, of course. So I'm probably gonna retreat to the Warsaw-Moscow line and lose everything else and leave Turkey to the conquest of the south. But the north is quite chaotic at this point, and I think I have a German ally. So I think I want to focus there, which is not what Russia does usually. But what else can I do? Russia is pretty weak in gunboat, and I don't want to be eliminated. My force is in the north, in which I have two fleets. They're not useful at all for defending my homeland. I can only use them to attack someone, like England, and we'll see what I do. So I use Ukraine to cover Moscow because I predict that Sevastopol is going to move there, and I support Romania with Galicia, which does work for this time, but it won't work forever. And at the same time, we see that even though there is a Smyrna fleet, Italy is still moving west against France, while France is moving against England because they haven't forgiven them for their attack, and England knows that, so they move to mid-Atlantic Ocean. I actually get out of Scandinavia now, moving Norway to Norwegian and St. Petersburg to Norway, while Germany moves Sweden to Skagerrak, which is an anti-English move, because they don't move Denmark to Sweden. So they're not trying to take Norway, they're trying to take North Sea. So it seems like we have Russia, Germany, and France against England. England is trying to defend against everyone, but they see France as the menace that they are. Italy is foolishly, in my opinion, moving against France because they have a clear Turkish enemy now in the east. Just one unit for now, but it won't be forever because these fleets are gonna go south because I'm finished here and I'm trying to defend myself. And Austria is stuck with Budapest and Serbia, and they will be for most of the game, with Germany just supporting Vienna and Italy just supporting Trieste. So now I do something that it's quite unusual and not a good idea most of the time. Okay, I still move to Moscow. I can't afford to lose Moscow, so I am happy to lose the fleet in Romania, which is quite useless to Turkey, but I can't afford at all to lose Moscow. So this is gonna be my moveset forever, and of course Turkey knows that, so they just take Romania from me. So I lost my last neutral center in the south. Now my only centers in the south are Warsaw and Moscow, that are original Russian centers. And in the north, I do something that it's not advisable. I was anti-English, so attacking Edinburgh with Norwegian Sea was pretty acceptable, but at the same time I stabbed Germany for Sweden. Why? Because I predict that one of these is gonna work. And since I'm losing, I don't really care. If Germany wants to turn around and attack me, they can do that, and I'm gonna lose anyway. So I just decide, hey, Germany stole Sweden from me, I'm just gonna do that. And if Denmark moves to Sweden, I just bounce them out, so it's okay. And it actually works in both spaces. I take Edinburgh and Sweden. So I just stabbed Germany, but it's just for this one center. And actually, since I destroy Romania, I have two wings now, because I just took two centers. I am amazed that neither Germany nor England covered their empty centers. And England takes Brest but loses Liverpool, so it's chaotic in the English-French war. So I bring two armies in Warsaw and St. Petersburg, which is extremely anti-German in a way, because the army in St. Petersburg isn't, but it's not anti-English either. But I don't want another fleet. Two fleets are enough for me right now. I want to defend myself better in the south. I don't want Turkey to get into Ukraine and try to take Moscow. But the army in Warsaw, it's the only unit that I can build in Warsaw, but now with the German destroyer in Ruhr, I can easily go to Silesia unopposed and try to take Berlin and Munich, which is pretty bad for Germany. We see that England destroys the fleet in Brest, and we have another army in Constantinople. So we see that actually Turkey is not anti-Italian at all. They like that Italy is going against France, so they're not going to bring the other southern fleets. They only have Greece, which is not useful against Ionian Sea alone.